Tonight's story is about proximity, the kind that feels wrong before you can explain why. It's about a stranger whose nearness felt like a warning, and a young woman named Eloho who learned that sometimes danger doesn't shout, it stands quietly right behind you. My name is Bethel, and tonight we're stepping into the kind of fear that hides in plain sight. The fear of realizing someone has been watching you far longer than you've been watching them. So, sit back, relax if you can, and listen closely. Eloho was 26, a soft-spoken, hard-working woman from Delta State, living in Warri while finishing her teaching internship. Her days were predictable: school, bus stop, food vendor, and home. She loved her routine because routines made her feel safe. But that's the problem with routines. Someone else can learn them too. The first time she noticed him, it was small. The bus park at Efrun was full, everyone crowding and pushing. But this man, tall, quiet, wearing a grey shirt, stood behind her, so close that his breath warmed her neck. She stepped aside. He stepped too. She tried again. So did he. She told herself, maybe it's just the crowd. Maybe I'm overthinking. But his eyes never blinked, never looked away. And he didn't smile the way normal people smile. His lips just stretched a little, like he was practicing the idea of a smile. She shook it off. People are strange sometimes. 2 days later, she saw him again. Same posture, same distance, same unblinking stare. This time, they weren't even in a crowded place. It was at the roasted plantain stand she stopped at every Thursday. The vendor joked, "Ah, Eloho, your follow don't come again, no." When she turned around, he was already there, standing too close, smiling that almost smile. She hurried home. Over the next week, he became a shadow in her routine, at the school gate, at the bus stop, at the market. Even outside her street, leaning on a pole like someone who lived there. Always the same distance, never touching, never speaking, but far too close. Her roommate Blessing said, "Maybe he likes you," but it didn't feel like liking. It felt like someone studying a puzzle. Her. On Saturday evening, Eloho decided he'd had enough. She took her phone, walked to the small supermarket near her house, and purposely changed her route. She took unfamiliar turns, walked through unrelated streets. When she reached the supermarket, she exhaled in relief. She had lost him. She grabbed what she needed, walked to the counter, and when she turned around, he was standing right behind her. She screamed. The cashier jumped. He didn't flinch. He simply whispered, "You dropped something." But Eloho hadn't dropped anything. He bent down slowly, picked up a tiny folded piece of paper, held it out to her, and walked away without waiting for her to take it. She didn't touch the paper. She ran home. Blessing unfolded the note. Instead, it read, "I like where you go. I like how you walk. I like how close you let me stand. Don't change your routine again." Blessing's hand shook. "We need to go to the police." But Eloho was terrified of overreacting, terrified of making things worse, terrified that maybe it was just a harmless man. That night, she barely slept. Around 9 p.m. the next day, NEPA took light. The compound's generator, usually loud and stubborn, refused to start. The neighborhood was quiet, too quiet. Eloho stepped outside with her small torchlight to join the 3 neighbors trying to fix the generator. They worked for almost 15 minutes before one hand of them hissed, Who be this man? Wetin him dey find for our back gate? Eloho froze. Back gate? She turned, and there he was, grey shirt, still, expressionless, standing too close to the gate of her compound, watching her. The same neighbor shouted, "Oga, who you dey find?" The man didn't answer. He only stepped back and melted into the darkness. Eloho couldn't take it anymore. Early the next morning, she went to report the case. The police told her they would patrol the area, but without a name or address, nothing solid could be done. So she decided to confront the situation herself. She changed her routine entirely, stopped going to the same bus stop, stopped using predictable routes, left home at different hours. For days, nothing. She dared to breathe again, until one evening she returned home from school. Her roommates were out. The compound was quiet. She opened her door and found a paper on the floor folded neatly, like the last one. Her heart pounded so loud she could barely hear her own breath. She unfolded it with shaking hands. It said, "Don't disappear again. I missed you." Underneath the message was a small Polaroid photograph. It was a picture of Eloho, taken from behind, walking to school, and in the corner of the frame, a shadow, his shadow. That night, she felt watched. Even with every curtain closed, every light on, every lock checked twice. At 2:13 a.m., she heard it. A soft click. Her back door. She grabbed her phone with trembling hands and dialed blessing. No answer. Then she heard slow footsteps on the tiles. Not rushing, not sneaking, just walking, like someone perfectly comfortable in her home. She hid behind her wardrobe, hand over her mouth. The footsteps stopped right in front of her door. Then a whisper. "I'm close now." Just as the wardrobe handle twitched, a loud voice shouted from outside, "Open this door! Police!" 2 officers had come to check the neighborhood again due to an unrelated robbery. They heard noise from her flat and forced their way in. They found the door to her apartment open, but the man was gone. The officers searched the entire compound. No trace. He had slipped away like someone who'd rehearsed it thousands of times. Eloho didn't sleep in the apartment again. She moved within a week, changed her number, changed her job location. The police kept the notes and photos as evidence, but they never caught him. All they could tell her was that cases like this often end one of 2 ways. The person escalates or finds a new target. But Eloho learned something important. Danger doesn't always shout. Sometimes it stands quietly, patiently, smiling a practice smile, just a little too close. If this story stayed with you, tap the like button so others can find it too. And if you're new here, subscribe and join our growing circle of nighttime listeners. Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, and watch who's standing too close.